Hey guys, welcome back. Thanks for joining me. And I know I'm a little dark right now, but as I walk into the light, I want to welcome you back to this show U-Turn. You know, this inspirational stories, personal stories of struggle and change. I want to thank you all for the views. Thank you for the likes. Thank all of you new subscribers. And, you know, I will probably eventually do a tutorial for how to check your analytics. But as I checked my analytics, I noticed that a lot of people who watch my shows are not subscribed. So if you're one of them, please hit the subscription button. Hit the notification button so you know every week, come on back. And so I wanted to this week give my personal story. You know, on the pilot episode of this show, I let you guys know that I had been locked away for 3 years. And so I wanted to let you know how I got my life back on track. You know, when you're inside, you only have, you know, basically a football field or half a football field. You can like do laps around every day. But when you're out on, you know, parole, you have cars you can go into, you can drive to the store, you can go to Denny's, you know, you can do so much more. You have a larger yard, but you're still under supervision. You're still, you know, held to conditions and stuff like that. I struggled. It was tough. It was tough. You know, for like a year and a half, once I got out, I was on the buses and trains, and so I very much empathize with anyone riding buses, riding trains, but we do what we have to do to get through life, you know? And so, yeah, I got out, went to these work sources in LA, you know. My family was very supporting of me, but they're like, you gotta get a job, you gotta get a job. And of course I wanted a job. And so I was going to these work sources every single day. Like my full-time job was getting on the bus, you know, taking it a half hour to the work source, and it was on Wilshire Boulevard, and, you know, submitting resumes and answering ads and faxing and email and all this crazy stuff. And I honestly put out about 2,000 resumes with about that much success. You know, I got an interview for B of A, so I went there and my skills were awesome, but the moment they found out, oh, you've got a criminal background, didn't get the job. And so every day, walking from the place I was being housed at to the bus just to get to the work source, I passed a Subway sandwich shop. And like I said, I was broke, my family was sending me money to help me out. I'd get a foot long, and I'd have half for lunch, and I'd have half for dinner. So that's how I survived. And then, you know, after weeks and weeks and maybe even a month of just searching for all these jobs, basically I'm like, let me go check out Subway. And even my family's like, you know, find a job there. And I'm like, why? Because I'm not going to be living here. And so I kind of held against finding a job anywhere local to where I was staying. And so I ended up going there and filling out an application. And now on the application, it was something interesting. They did not have a felony question on the application. I had to go back there a few times because they lost the first application. They even lost the second application. And then the third time I dropped off a resume too. So it took me about 3 or 4 weeks of returning there every week. Persistency. And I finally got an interview. And long story short, got hired. And my first day of work was on Thanksgiving Day that year. And when my boss was like, okay, I'm gonna start you on this date, I knew it was Thanksgiving. And I was like, sounds good. You know, didn't argue, didn't say anything. I figured it was maybe a test to see if I was like, oh, I can't work on that day. So I worked my buns off at that Subway Sandwiches. It was in Gardena. And a year after I had gotten hired, working my tail off, I caught a violation. So I got a 6-month violation. Now, when I came out, I went to pick up my paycheck, and my boss was like, hey, what happened? So I explained to her what happened, and she was like, wow, maybe I should start doing background checks when I hire people. And I thought, well, you know what? You could do that, but if you would have done a background check on me, you may not have hired me. And look how incredible I've become. And she was like, you're right. So it was nice for someone to be looking at me like, you know what? I'm just going to give you a chance. I don't care what your background is, and worked my buns off, and then I proved myself. And after a while, like I said, when I got up to management, I had told my immediate supervisor, I said, look, you know, you can get tax write-offs because you've hired a felon, you know, an ex-felon. And she didn't even know that. And I said, but you'd have to tell your parents because I know your parents actually own the franchise. And at that point, she had told me, don't let my mom and dad know. But she's like, oh, that's fine. They know and they don't care. So even her parents, you know, saw how hard I worked and they didn't care, you know, about my past. It's like, no, Ted, you're great. hard work pays off no matter what your background is, no matter what mistakes you've made in life. And so that's my testimony to, I get out, you got to hit the ground running, you got to do what you got to do, hit the buses and trains. I even, after a year and a half of working, I'm like, I need to get a car. I keep switching hands because the camera's so heavy. This is a really good experiment for me. But I asked my boss, I said, look, can I get a loan for a car? And she's like, well, how are you going to pay back? I said, just take it out of my paycheck every 2 weeks. She's like, okay. And so she actually gave me a loan for my first car when I got out. That's trust. That shows how hard I worked, how much they trusted me. And so, again, that's my basic story of how I came out, hit the ground, did what I had to do, and then finally had to just beg for a job, minimum wage job. Back then it was probably $8.25. Now I think in California it's like $11 an hour minimum wage. And by the time I left Subway, I had gotten a raise to $11 before it was $11 minimum wage. So, when I told her, hey, I have to leave, she's like, oh, what can I do to keep you? And I was like, well, first of all, give me some gas money because I'm driving like crazy. So I had even built myself up to the point of where I was able to haggle with her. She's like, Ted, I don't want to lose you. And I was like, wow, okay. So I had made that much of an impression on her that she did not want to lose me as an employee. So it's a really great story for me to be able to share with you guys. And so I wanted to do that this week for U-Turn. And again, please, comment below and let me know if you're enjoying these stories. Let me know if you like the show format. Tell me if you're bored. Like, you know what? I don't want to hear all this stuff. Tell me something different. I really want to hear from you guys down in the comment section. And then if you don't want to leave the comments there, you can go to the website, which is uturn.net. And there's a contact, page there. And leave me a message there. I get that. And so thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing, and do please spread the word. I'm working to grow my channel so I can become a positive influencer on YouTube. I watch all these, channels that have millions of viewers and millions of subscribers, and they release a video, and within, 8 hours they've got, 1,000 views. I'm like, my gosh, I want to get like that. And a lot of them are just doing tutorials, how to do this and how to build this. And I'm like, I want to be able to inspire everybody. And yes, I know Oprah inspires people, and I'm no Oprah, but maybe I'm, the Mexican Oprah. And I know I highlight a lot of incarceration stories. And don't forget September 1st, which is this coming Sunday at 9 a.m. Pacific, which is East Coast 12 noon. We're going to be doing a live stream here on YouTube. And I'm going to have a friend of mine that's locked up currently in Great Meadow Penitentiary. He's going to call in, and you'll be able to ask him questions live and get responses from him. And I'm going to try to do that every 2 weeks. Unless demand becomes high, then maybe I'll have to do it every week. And so, yeah, if you're interested in even just hearing conversation from someone who's actually locked up, and he's been in for 17 years. 17 years for a crime he actually did not commit, and he has the DNA report that proves it. So if you want to hear that story, if you want to ask him any questions, please come on back. September 1st, 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 noon East Coast. Tell all your friends. We'd love to have a lot of people come to that live stream. And to help you with that, hit the subscription and hit the notifications. That way you'll be notified when we go live. So it's really important if you want to be a part of that live stream. And if that live stream becomes so popular, great, then that'll become my mainstay show on this channel. So just, help me out. If you like my content, let me know. Comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And share it with your friends, share it with your family, spread it around as much as you can. And I would love to become a positive, inspirational influencer on YouTube. That's my goal. I'm not here to get 1 million millennials and make $1 million. No, I'm here to inspire people. I love helping people. That's why I've built uturn.net. It's really to help people and help victims funds. I love doing stuff like that. And my passion is being on video. I love to record. I love to produce. I'm a filmmaker. And so I've combined my two passions, my passion for helping people and my passion for producing video, being a filmmaker, to create this channel and this show and stuff like that. So I value your input. So thanks again for watching. Here's other shows you can watch. And don't forget, September 1st, 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 noon East Coast, and we will be live talking to my friend Manny. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week. Or we'll see you in about 3 days. Bye.